What if you or someone you know is thinking about quitting the guitar? Could this video change the game and restore the hope and joy that the guitar and music can bring? I think it could. That's why I created it for you. I'm David Harsh with Guitar Success for You. I've been playing the guitar for 30 years, but there were times when I got so discouraged, I wasn't sure it was worth it to keep going. I've also crossed paths with people who have had similar experiences, but I'm here to tell you, if you stick with it, there are tremendous rewards waiting for you. Today, I'm going to outline 9 reasons why people quit playing the guitar, but that's not all I'm going to do. I'm actually going to show you the 9 antidotes that can counteract and overcome those 9 obstacles. And what's more, I'll give you 18 reasons why you can thrive with the guitar. Have you ever met someone who quit playing their instrument? I think we all have, but that doesn't have to be us. Now, for clarity, let's define the word quit. I'm referring to someone giving up, throwing in the towel, selling their guitar, or giving it away because they're done. I'm not talking about someone who needs to take some time away from the instrument because of important family or work matters. I'm also not talking about someone who realizes there's another musical instrument that they're better suited for. I'm just talking about someone who gets to a point where they regretfully stop playing the guitar indefinitely, even though they wish they had what it takes to keep going. So, why do people quit? And how can we find the antidote to each of these challenges? Here we go. Number 1, they don't make the time. If we're serious about enjoying an instrument like this, we need to set some amount of time aside. I'm not talking about 5 hours a day, although there are people out there who do that. I'm talking about 15 to maybe 30 minutes a day to build your dream. If you're on the brink of giving up and you feel like you don't have the time, ask yourself if you've taken time this week to watch something on TV, to scroll through social media, or to do something optional that took up some of your discretionary time. I believe we make time for things that are important to us. So, to someone who says they don't have time, I would encourage them to examine their weekly schedule to see if there might be a daily window or every other day window where the guitar could fit in for some learning or enjoyment. A short amount of time every day or every other day can win the battle. Bruce Lee once said, "Long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity." So evaluating our schedule and prioritizing a small amount of guitar playing is the antidote to perceiving that we don't have time. Number 2, they don't have a musical outlet. What do I mean? I'm talking about a place where they can share and enjoy music in some kind of community setting. An isolated guitarist who just plays alone in his or her room will soon run out of steam. If you have any sort of community you could share your guitar playing with, that counts as a musical outlet. It could be your immediate family, who might be willing to listen to you play a song or two. It could be a Bible study you could occasionally lead a little worship set for. It could be a worship team or band you can contribute your guitar playing to on a regular basis. It could be an open mic or a senior center. It could even be a simple home recording setup where you record original or cover songs and enjoy listening back and maybe forwarding some of your songs onto friends or family. But as Brian Redding, one of our guest experts inside Guitar Success for You, said, music is best when shared. If we can share our music, we can experience community. That is the antidote to isolation. Number 3, they have unrealistic goals. If you're familiar with the SMART acrostic for goals, you know that the attributes of that list center around goals that can be within our reach. Setting goals that are way outside what's possible, at least in this season, can lead to frustration. I had a student come to me for guitar lessons one time. He had never played the guitar before, and he insisted that the first song he wanted to learn to play was Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. I gently cautioned him to learn something a bit simpler to start, but he was unwilling to hear me out, and after our conversation, I never saw him again. I hope he learned to play that song, but I also hope he started with some stepping stone songs and techniques to bridge the gap from no experience to sufficient experience. Honestly, if a guitarist's goals are like learn 3 chords a week, and learn a complete worship song over the course of the next 2 months, to me, that seems like a more attainable set of goals. And here's the thing. If you overcome those goals earlier than expected, you'll feel those wins, and then you can move on to the next goals. An intimidating, overzealous goal that lingers unaccomplished can cause regret and can lead to discouragement, right? So setting reasonable goals is the antidote to that problem. Number 4, they expect quick results. There are times when we get results quickly, but I think our society has done us a bit of a disservice when certain things are promised to us in a hasty fashion. This takes away the need for us to exercise the muscles of delayed gratification. I remember mail order catalogs when I was a kid that said, please allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. Now we have Amazon delivered the same day. That's convenient, but really, we can't apply that same expectation to results on the guitar if we want to stay the course and play the long game. Certain techniques take weeks or even months to get under our fingers. We may feel like we don't have the gift of music or feel like we aren't making traction, but be careful not to make decisions based on feelings alone. You may be making traction. It just may be incremental. Keep your expectations realistic. Once we have realistic expectations, we diffuse this obstacle of wanting quick results, and we take hold of the antidote that allows us to play the long game and get long-term results. Number 5, they lack self-discipline and the motivation to follow through. If someone doesn't hold on to their dreams of playing the guitar with a sense of being the boss of their feelings and the pursuer of their dreams, they can also run out of steam. I've met people who want to get better at the instrument, but when they realize there's some work involved, and some of that work is less glamorous or fun, they can lose momentum. I am working to get in better shape. This requires self-discipline to do the exercises I know I need to do, especially when I don't want to do them. If I ask myself the question, is this going to be fun? I believe I'm asking the wrong question. The better question is, will this get me the results I'm looking for? That's the way to think, because I know the answer to that is yes. So if you have goals on the guitar, the bridge to those goals may involve some hard work, but with self-discipline and motivation, you hold 2 antidotes in your hand that will see you through. I like to use the term serious fun because that helps me realize that a good challenge can help get me where I want to go. Often, great results are waiting on the other side of some good old-fashioned hard work. Number 6, they don't have accountability. Another side effect of isolation is that we don't have community around us to cheer us on and hold us accountable to our goals. Shared goals create instant accountability, right? So if you can be a part of a community who helps you grow by checking in to see how your progress has been going, you'll have fuel for your rocket ship. Inside Guitar Success for You, we do a couple challenges each year where some of our members learn complete songs and then they record them on their phones and share them with the group. That's serious accountability because once they've announced to our community that they're going to learn that song, everybody knows about that goal. I lead the charge for each of these challenges by leaning into a song that's really challenging for me. For one of our challenges, called the New Year New Song Challenge, people committed to learning a song at the beginning of the year that they had never played before. We had a list of the songs that was shared inside the group, and although not everyone completed the project inside the 3-month time frame, many did. I learned the very technical fingerstyle solo Layover by Michael Hedges. Some folks did cover tunes, others learned instrumental versions of hymns, some learned worship songs. What was the win from this experience? I think you know. We each learned to play a real song. The challenge was just the catalyst that made the result possible. It's likely that without this form of accountability, most of us wouldn't have taken the step to spend the hours learning and then sharing the songs. So accountability is a very powerful antidote to reverse the dynamic of trying to do this guitar thing on our own. Now, a practical reason why some people quit. Number 7, their guitar isn't set up properly. If your action is too high, in other words, the distance from your strings to your frets is too wide, you're gonna be working like crazy to try to make those notes sound. It can lead to fatigue really quickly. What about if the guitar isn't intoned properly? That could mean that no matter what you do to try to tune it, some notes won't sound in tune. Nothing can decrease morale like a guitar sounding out of tune, right? So consider getting your guitar set up properly for optimal play and enjoyment. And if you think low-end to medium-range guitars are the only guitars that need a setup, think again. I interviewed the master luthier and the president of Mike Lull's Guitar Works inside our Guitar Success for You membership. They set up the guitars of Pearl Jam, Queensryche, Bob Dylan, and Eric Clapton. Heard of any of those names? Mike Lull's Guitar Works has luthiers that are among the best in the business. They said that even high-end guitars coming from the factory need a setup. So take the antidote of getting your guitar evaluated and then perhaps set up properly by a shop you trust. It could literally change the game. Number 8, they don't have a safe place to practice. Practicing the guitar, especially in the early weeks and months, doesn't always sound great. If you're in a shared space where people can hear you practice, like it or not, you'll probably feel self-conscious on some level. And some folks may decide they want to invite themselves into the conversation. I was practicing the guitar in my college dorm room in the first few weeks of learning the instrument, and a guy down the hall literally said, "Dude, whoever's trying to play that music, stop. You suck." I suppose I did suck at that point, but really, I just needed to put in some reps and figure out the chords. We had these fairly lame pocket doors between our rooms, so I couldn't really practice well in the dorm without sound leaking through the doorway. So I eventually took my guitar down to a practice room in the music building and felt freer to play. Being able to close a door and get uninterrupted time practicing can make a huge difference. I logged dozens of hours sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor in a large bathroom between a couple dorm rooms one year. I've practiced the guitar in the back seat of a car. Where there's a will, there's a way. So finding a decent private place to practice is another antidote. Now, if you're ready for the final reason why people quit guitar, I'm excited to share it with you because I believe it is the biggest reason. Before I do, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. This is a great way to support us here on the channel and help us get more traction so we can reach more people like you that we can serve in this way. Thanks for considering. Okay, the final reason people quit is this. Number 9, they don't have a strong enough why. Some guitarists, when pressed, can't actually give a clear, detailed reason for why they want to play. You may be in a season where you're finding out why you want to play, but my hope would be that you would cultivate a vision for why this instrument is so important to you. If you know the Lord, I would encourage you to pray for Him to reveal this to you. Here's why. If you have a strong why, it will carry you through seasons of doubt, fatigue, uncertainty, and it will remind you how important this dream is for you. It will shield you from criticism, it will ward off jealousy, arrogance, and anything that could take you off course. The word why is perhaps the most important antidote, and maybe the most important word in today's discussion. Now, if you don't know for sure why developing and stewarding your guitar gifts is important, I've got 18 suggestions I've promised you. My hope is that at least one of these reasons will ring true for you, but it's likely that more than one will apply. Here we go. Number 1, you've been inspired by other guitar players and you want to feel what it's like to make music on the guitar. Number 2, you want to discover or rediscover the joy of music, and the guitar could be the instrument for helping you do this. Number 3, you have a desire to create music, whether to compose an original song or to arrange a song you know. Number 4, you're hoping to collaborate with others, whether putting together a duo or a full band so you can play music for listening ears. Number 5, you want to share your gifts on the worship team for your local church. Number 6, you want to understand music in a whole new way that goes beyond simply listening to it. Number 7, your family has a legacy of music and you want to add your musical voice to the story. Number 8, you've inherited a guitar from a family member or it's been given to you by a dear friend and you want to honor them by learning to play it. Number 9, music on the guitar could be a form of therapy for you, allowing you to decompress from a job that takes a lot of focus, or maybe to help you cope with post-traumatic stress. Number 10, you desire to play your guitar as a form of music therapy for others. Number 11, you have a role or a job in education and you want to incorporate the guitar into your teaching method, helping lead others in song or playing to support some kind of performance. Number 12, you're getting married and you want to play a song for your spouse at the wedding or the reception. Number 13, you have kids or grandkids and you want to play songs for or with them. Number 14, you play other instruments and you want to move laterally to discover music on this instrument. Number 15, you want a fun outlet that uses a different part of your brain. Number 16, you want to process emotions in a way that words cannot express. Number 17, you have a story to tell and the guitar is the perfect vessel for you to tell it. And lastly, number 18, you know somehow, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that there is music within you. It is waiting to be discovered, cultivated, and expressed, and it must be shared somehow. Did any of those bring to mind a strong enough why for you? If not, do some soul searching and praying about why you might learn guitar. It needs to be more than just a passing fancy though, not, it might be kind of fun. It needs to go deeper, like a passion or a calling, at least on some level. And maybe you'd like to share a comment with us here below the video to let me and others know your thoughts. Now, if today's lesson was encouraging to you, it might also encourage someone else. It could actually make the difference between someone quitting and sticking with the guitar. Please consider sharing this video with anyone you think might appreciate it. Also, I encourage you to consider checking out Guitar Success for You. The website is guitarsuccessforyou.com. If you noticed, several of the antidotes, as well as the reasons why, have to do with community. In Guitar Success for You, we have a community element of the experience that is unlike anything I've ever seen. It could be what's missing from your guitar journey in this season. For now, I'll invite you to try one of our strumming workouts, which are infused with lots of encouragement, inspiring quotes, strumming patterns, and exercises designed to enhance your rhythm chops. The first one is right here, and it's actually the most popular video on our channel right now. We've got more great stuff here on the channel waiting to be discovered, and I'm excited to serve you in the next video you watch. I'll see you there.